Hello students, today we are going to see this topic method of calling functions. So under this topic you can see that there are three subdivisions. Okay, so call by value, call by reference, and inline functions. So these are all the three things that we are going to see today. So before going into that, in the previous class we have learnt about user defined function, how to create a function definition, how to create a function, and what is meant by formal parameters, actual parameters, default arguments, constant arguments. So everything we have discussed in the previous class. So today we are going to see this method of calling function. So in that, first one is call by value function. Oh, sorry, call by value method. So call by value method means we'll directly move on to this example so that you can clearly understand. So in the main function you can see that uh, uh, display is a function. Okay, user defined function. It consists of argument as int x. So you can see that in the main function they are calling it. Okay, so calling means while seeing this instruction, the control will be transferred from the main function to the user defined function. So here you can see that display a is the calling function. So here the value of a only will be transferred from main function to the user defined function. So that is an example here. So the value of a, you can see that int a is created, and we are giving a description to the user that please enter a value for a. So the user enters, and the value will be stored in variable a. Now the value of variable a is uh, transferred from main function to the user defined function display. So there you can see that it is getting multiplied. Okay, so there it is converted as actual parameter into formal parameter. Okay, so this formal parameter is x here. So they are declaring their own variable a there, and x into x, which is stored in a, and you can see that they are displaying their uh, result in that particular function itself. So any value is not transferred from user defined function to the main function. So here you can see that the value is transferred. So if any changes happens to that particular value which is transferred from main function to the user defined function will not affect the value in the main function. So the value which is handled by the user defined function stays there itself. Okay, so any changes uh, will not affect the value in the main function. But in the next section you can see that call by reference. So here you can see that an extra symbol is added here. So here n1 is equal to uh, n1 is a variable, so user is defining some values there, and n1 is transferred from there to a uh, user defined function and the variable name. Okay, so here they have used a symbol and symbol. Okay, so this symbol is you will get the memory address of that particular variable. Okay, so whatever changes that are done by this user defined function will affect the value in this main function. Okay, so here you can see that they are collecting the address of a variable. Okay, so x. Okay, so x is equal to x into x, so the value changes here directly in the x, so that they are printing the value in the sub function itself. Okay, so this is the main difference between uh, call by value and call by reference. So the main function, the value in the main function will not get affected while you are using call by value. The value in the main function will be affected when some kind of changes is done by the user defined function. So that is known as call by reference. So this is what it is given here. Next is inline function. Normally the call statement to function makes a compiler to jump to function and also jump back to the instruction following call function. So uh, this reduces the speed of program execution. Inline functions can be used to reduce the overhead like stacks and a small function. Okay, so there is a problem here. So when you are using this function, uh, so the control is transferred from one instruction to another instruction, so which is located in somewhere else in the memory. Okay, so the traveling time, okay, so it will affect the execution of the program, but there is an keyword which is known as inline function. Okay, so there is a keyword which is uh, inline functions, so that you can just add that keyword before the function so that it will be directly the whole function will be copied there virtually. Okay, so if a calling function is happened, the whole code of that user defined function will be sent here to the uh, calling statement. Okay, so that the lag of executing that particular function will be reduced. So this is known as uh, inline function, and it also reduces the complexity. Okay, so this is the example and this is the explanation that is given here. Okay, so next is different forms of user defined function and a function declaration. Okay, so an user defined function, so if we have seen this. Okay, we have seen this in the previous topic itself. So to be more explanation, to give more explanation, you can see that here. So there are four types of user defined functions based on the parameters that you give and the return value or the output that is provided by the user defined function. So here the first one is without return and without parameter. Okay, so without return means the function will not provide any output, or it will not get any input from the uh, input from the main program. So that is no, without parameters and without return. So here you can see that it will get all the input from the user directly in the function itself. Okay, so here you can see that an example. So void keyword will be used while you are not returning anything. Okay, so here you can see that the call function is used here, display, and you can see that they have just printing first C++ program with the function. Okay, so this function does not get any value from the main function, and it is not sending any value to the main function. So this is an example. So if next function is the function with return value and without parameters. So any value is not received from the main function to the function, but some of the value is transferred from the user defined function to the main function. So here you can see that they are calling it uh, they are calling the function int m is equal to display. So the control will be transferred here. So all the value is present inside the user defined function display itself. Int a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 5, s is equal to a plus b. So The addition of these two values is transferred here back here, and it is stored in m. S is equal to a plus b, which is 15. So 15, the value 15 will be stored in m, and it is displayed here. Next is without return type, but it will get receive input from the main program. So here you can see that the value a comma b 50 45 is transferred from main program. Display a comma b is transferred from the main program to this display function, and they are adding there. So 50 plus 45 is equal to 95, and you can see that it is used there, and it is printed there itself. The result is printed there in the user defined function itself. The last one is the user defined function will get the input from the main program, and also it will return the value to the main function, or it will return the output to the main function. So here you can see that main int a is equal to 45 and b is equal to 20, and here you can see that it is transferring this value call by value. Okay, so here you can see that this function is using call by value, and you can see that a is equal to 45 plus 20. 45 plus 20 is 65. Okay, 65 is returning back from a user defined function to the main function, and it is stored in variable s, and later in the program you can see that s value is printed. So with this we'll finish the class today. We'll see the uh, rest of the things in the next class. Thank you, students.